that?
Well, you can give me whatever you want for the record.
We're live.
Okay.
Call the meeting to order. The Monday, December 5th meeting of the Summer Zoning Commission. President Ferraro, Joe Conklin, Jim Formica, Jen Roy, and myself, Carl Walden. Going to call the meeting to order. Under new business, application 22-005 for 531 Summers LLC. 531 Main Street, seeking a special use permit for adaptive reuse of a property located at 531 Main Street in Summers to allow 2 additional apartments for a total of 3 apartments and 3 commercial offices per Summer Zoning Regulation 276.7. Adaptive reuse in the A1 residential zone. Okay, John, you can speak briefly if you'd like.
It's very brief. We were here in September. We just tested the waters a little on this new regulation 6.7 adaptive reuse. We came away with the impression that we weren't a perfect fit for 6.7, and that to be a better fit we would need 2 variances. One for the section of 6.7 that says accessory units on the upper floors, where the vast majority of this building is on the first floor, and the one was for the frontage, which this lot was built in 21, and it would need 300 feet of frontage under your current regulation, and this lot is a lot less than that. In any event, we did receive the 2 variances, and I think the appeal period runs today.
Yeah, correct.
And
Starts today?
No, it ended.
ran.
Oh, it ended today.
Yeah.
It ran today. And we've recorded that. And really, just to keep it simple, I'll go through at the public hearing the criteria, your 6.7, but I think we can check all the boxes. And then I wanted to update the application in that when I prepared the application, I did not know how many parking spaces there are. I've since learned there are 22 parking spaces, which I did the calculation based on your regulation, and it came out to 22 parking spaces for what we did is we went from the former variance, which was 6 businesses and 1 apartment, to 3 businesses and 3 apartments, and giving you a copy of the variance. We don't plan to make any exterior changes. I think maybe we could pass, but this is surprising to anyone who hasn't driven in the driveway. It's an enormous place, actually 9,000 square feet, and we're, from the applicant's point of view, we're just curious. We did the reconfiguration in 2017. Having A2 shows all of the improvements, so we're not sure what additional we may need to do. The fact that everything we're doing is on the inside, and then I think we probably need a referral to the planning commission. That's all I got.
Anybody have any questions for John? Would someone like to make a motion to this application forward it to Planning Commission for perusal and schedule a public hearing?
I'll make a motion to accept application 22-005 for 531 Summers LLC at 531 Main Street, seeking a special use permit for adaptive reuse of property located at 531 Main Street to allow 2 additional apartments for a total of 3 apartments and 3 commercial offices per Summers zoning regulations 214-6.7 and have it forwarded to the planning committee.
I'll second that.
Public hearing,
Schedule public hearings.
January 3rd, or what date? Your next regular meeting is January 3rd.
Be ready, John?
January 3rd.
Motion's been made and seconded on application 22-005. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I entertain a motion to add an agenda item, a discussion of request by Todd Rowland to put up a member to a sidewalk committee.
That's a sidewalk committee? I thought it was like a walkable.
Sidewalk committee.
Sidewalk committee.
Sidewalk committee to look at the current condition of the sidewalks and the future potential need of the residents of the town for sidewalks going forward. What makes sense, what doesn't make sense. They expect to meet once a month, 2, 3 years.
Well, do you have a motion to add it to the agenda first? Is that what
No,
you're-
no one said anything.
Okay, I'll make a motion to add the sidewalk committee discussion to the agenda.
Made to add sidewalk committee discussion to the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I got an email request, actually I got a phone call from Todd Rowland and an email requesting we provide them with somebody to sit on the sidewalk committee. I'm willing to do it.
Okay, I was gonna say I would be willing to do it as well, because I have sidewalks that run in front of my building, and I've been complaining too, because most people down in the Summersville area, they don't even shovel the sidewalks on Main Street.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be so much that as it's going to be to look at where we are currently with sidewalks. I know we have some repair issues, I think primarily in Summers per se, over by the senior area. And I know that that's a priority because we don't want people tripping and falling. And I know that in the past we have looked at the walkable community. We looked at all kinds of sidewalks that, upon closer scrutiny, the feedback from the public at that time was that they didn't think they were necessary.
I was on that walkable community, that was
Me
years
too.
ago, and
Me too, and then my advice to Todd Rowland is going to be that he should probably try and get Patrice Carson to join this group because she ran that whole thing.
Oh,
So, I mean,
You have more time, so.
I do have more
I
time,
would say
and
you go with it, and I would just.
I also have been for the past, I don't know, how long have I been on conservation?
Forever.
The representative from planning and or zoning to conservation, and I'd like to get off that, and I need someone to take that over.
You want to get off that?
Mm.
So, I mean, anybody
I
can
can't
go to
have Dan
these.
do it because he's already
He's
there.
there. So anybody can go to these meetings, correct?
Anybody can go to the
Any
meetings, yeah.
meeting. Like I could go to this
Yep.
meeting if I wanted to, if I
Sure.
wanted to be more informed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think you should do it.
I think Carl's suggesting you do the Conservation Commission.
No, I'm not.
No? Oh.
No, I'm
We need
looking for
someone from
volunteer.
zoning, right?
We need a
Oh, we do?
representative from zoning for conservation.
How often do they meet?
Once a month.
How long are the meetings like?
Depends.
Mhm.
Not long.
Not long.
It depends.
No,
There've been marathon meetings, no
Yeah.
lie. Okay.
Well, like ours, right? Like
Yeah,
sometimes we
Yeah,
have.
sometimes we have
Most,
bump.
for the most part, they're fairly short.
When do they meet? Like what day?
Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
I think it's at 7, right?
It is at 7, right? Yeah.
Yes.
7.
Yeah.
And they need 5 for a quorum, so that's one of the things that's a problem,
They
because,
don't get a quorum.
well, no, we generally do get a quorum. I've been absent in a lot of meetings this year because it's not been a real priority for me with all the other stuff we've got going on.
Hmm.
And, be great if you wanted to.
I forget when my time ends here.
The end of the year, but,
Probably be.
I don't know, depends if you want to stay or not.
Well, it's not that easy.
Well, you can always make it known that you would like to be reappointed, and then it becomes a bigger deal if you're not, I guess. But
You can be on both, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she actually would have to be on both, because we're
You have
looking
to
for a
have a
representative from zoning
zoning.
for conservation.
Yeah. It's interesting conservation, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
So you'll do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well,
put my
that
name
worked.
in.
So we'll let Todd Rowland know that I'll do that, and we'll let Joanna know that Jill will become the new representative from zoning for conservation.
Unless somebody else wants it.
No.
I coach 2 sports.
Oh.
Jim, I knew Jim wasn't good. Jim wasn't volunteering. He didn't say anything. He was like, please, no, no, no.
I'm coaching enough.
You're too no yet. We can't bury you
I
with
can't
stuff.
coach, I don't know sports.
And Chris isn't here. I mean, ordinarily we'd just make him it, but
Right.
he's not here.
Can you have 2 representatives like that? You're a representative? I don't know if I am or not, but,
You're with WPCA,
I'm on the
Conservation
Conservation.
Commission. If you're the representative from the WPCA,
WPC.
So you're on the
Yeah, you are.
WPCA?
he is.
Wow,
He's everywhere.
1974. I
He's
started.
everywhere. What was interesting was
I was still-
when did you start?
74 with WPCA.
Oh, jeez. I thought I was
I was in middle
worse.
school.
I started in. I think I started in '84.
Yeah. Well, you're
Something
a young
like
guy.
that.
You're a young guy.
That was young. I'm sorry.
But I like it. It's fun.
So their first meeting is Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this Wednesday.
Yeah, show up.
No, we had it last week.
No, no,
No?
Yeah, it is.
no. It's Wednesday.
I was
Oh,
going.
right.
I was
You're
going to
right,
go.
you're right.
Better put it in here. So where do they meet? Right here?
Right,
Right
here.
here.
7
At
o'clock
least I know
live.
where I'm going. 7 o'clock on the 7th.
Lucky Sevens.
Joan Formeister is the chair.
Yeah, they're,
Broke
This is,
Dan's on it.
Conservation.
yeah,
Conservation.
they're a nice group.
It's actually a good group, and Joanna's pretty nice.
Yeah, Joanna's very nice.
And then we have a good group of people actually,
Conservation.
and they even have their own secretary. They've
Oh.
always had a
Not
secretary.
anymore.
Not anymore.
I think she resigned.
Tara did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's at 7. Just putting it in my calendar.
Yep. Now what's going on?
They're having some kind of Christmas thing over there with
Oh,
the
oh,
Boy
oh,
Scouts.
oh, oh,
It looks like fun. I want
oh.
to go
Do we
in.
have a staff report?
I handed it to you.
Zoning enforcement activity, is that the,
Okay, we don't want to talk about it, we just want to read it then, okay.
we don't?
I know, I mean, if you guys have questions, I'm just kind of keeping you informed, just still basically. So basically going through the situation with the
Carla? Where?
appeals. Well, that, I just got that call and I possibly something big. That 115 Main Street, the guy's got a lot of cars right on the road and somebody came in the last week and you can't get around the back of the building and I don't know.
Where's
So I have-
in 15?
What is the building?
The
right
mobile
next
station?
To, no, it's the car lot right next to Summers Village Gift Shop.
Yeah, the old
Okay,
mobile station.
yeah.
Car care or something.
The old mobile station.
Oh. I wasn't around then.
No,
Okay.
She didn't start working here till
That's the guy that would
1984.
always like park way up on the road too, like pull his cars right up to you.
She's lucky
That's the
because
place.
Yeah, I know the
her predecessor, Jim Taylor, who was the zoning enforcement officer, owned it.
Oh, really?
So there's a zoning board of appeals meeting?
No, the zoning board feels that stuff's still going on with Ken
So that's
Pryor
going to be
the
tomorrow
morning.
night, right?
next week.
Next Tuesday.
The
That'll be a
13th.
good one to watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
remind me.
And I don't know, just to make it long enough, I added, just so you guys know that we hired a person.
Cool.
She's
She's still here?
so far
A part-time
land
land
use
use
technician.
technician.
Yeah.
Well, I have heard lots of complaints about lack of coverage for building officials, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
John Park said the same thing tonight, that he's got, clients are getting very frustrated because there's no bodies.
Well, I mean, building officials from Stafford are here
No, I know.
21 hours a week, and they do a great job. They
I
do.
know. They're not complaining about the job, they're complaining about the frequency.
What do you mean the building
But they're
officials
here every
in
day, Monday
Stafford?
through Thursday, and Glenn works
Stafford?
on Friday. Yeah, and he does inspections on
What are
Fridays.
they doing?
Building
The building
official.
official
We
job.
don't have a building official. They got rid of John. We didn't
I've
get
heard
another one.
complaints about, in the, like, assessors, everywhere, just nobody's around or doesn't, crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's at least one person in our department every day. And anyhow, so Kate is part-time. She's 20 hours a week. Some people think we're overstaffed, but...
Yeah, well, you're not. But
So,
they
just
don't know.
I figured I'd tell you guys, and eventually I'll get her trained. I mean, she's worked for engineering, like surveyor firm for years, for like 20 years, so she
Oh.
knows what she's talking about.
Right.
Like
So
for
she knows
Mylar
the
map.
routines.
Yeah, Mylar map or the land
She knows the
records.
lingo too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Who is that?
Kate Chisholm.
the woman we hired a couple weeks ago, she started.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yep. It's a relief for me.
How would you determine if there's excess vehicles at that place?
Well,
What's excess?
I have to research the file and see if they have like a special use permit that states how many vehicles they can have.
Okay. I'd be surprised if they do, but
Oftentimes, when we get the approval, like when you would get your special exception from the ZBA, and it's gone back and forth in our town over the years, is who's responsible, whether it's the zoning commissioner or ZBA, for issuing that for a car lot. Oftentimes, they'll stipulate, we'll grant a special exception for a used car lot for a maximum of, there's 30 cars, whatever, based on the site plan.
But there's also designated spots. I mean, for fire and safety, you have to be able to get around the building.
That's
So
what this
your
person's
call
saying.
said that they couldn't get around the, I don't know
Correct.
why they were going around the building, but,
They live next door or
so
something. I
they
don't
live
know.
next door and take a shortcut? Yeah.
Or supposedly the cars are on their property. I haven't had a chance to even go. So, I'll probably go this week.
buy a car.
The cars might be on somebody else's property too. That's,
And it's not really my.
Must be the house to the
that's
right then, because the
Yeah,
yeah, the one to the
the,
left.
the store is to the left of
the
it.
store to the
Yeah.
left, there's
It's like
definitely a
zero lot line.
demarcation.
Yeah, there's not a lot
Well,
of,
no, there's a curb.
there's a curb and a little bit of a
Yeah.
green there.
Those minutes, we have minutes from our 11, was it 17?
Yeah.
11/7 and 15.
11/7. Anybody read the minutes?
You have them?
The minutes look, no, I already
Oh,
read
you all
them.
set?
I read them
Okay.
online.
They look okay?
Very good. That's
Cool.
it.
That's, yeah, that's,
Attractive, very attractive minutes.
everything was spelt correctly?
Yeah, exactly.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes
Of the 7th?
November 7th, 2022, and November 15th.
Was everyone at both meetings?
I was at both. 2022, as written.
I wasn't. I missed the second one.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the minutes of the November 7th and November 15th meetings as written. All in favor?
Do you have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
And seconded. Any discussion?
I don't think I was.
All in favor?
Dan was not at the second one.
I
so
was
Okay.
on the second
You
one.
want to do
So.
them
you should
separately?
just abstain. Well,
Aye.
you could just abstain. It
Aye.
still would pass.
Yeah, that's fine.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Geez, Ken, do you think we'll be there long? Oh, I don't think we'll be there.